Welcome to Indian Hollywood Fan, and today we are continuing with the IHF MCU Rewatch series, and this is the fifth episode, which we're gonna talk about Captain America: The First Avenger. So, Captain America: The First Avenger is a 2011 film, which is directed by Joe Johnston. It's definitely one of the most underrated MCU films. I mean, this is the most balanced film in Phase 1. If you think about it, it has action sequences, it has a retro vibe about World War II, and obviously, it has a very great cast. Obviously, we have Chris Evans, Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull. We have Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, Sebastian Stan as Bucky, and obviously Stanley Tucci also appears as Abraham Erskine. So it has one of the best performances from the actors in the MCU throughout the years. But again, I think this is the most unappreciated film in phase one. Like again, obviously we have the two Iron Man movies and Incredible Hulk and Thor, but I think this movie kind of deals with being a real prequel, and it also explains why Captain America was absent from the previous four films, and obviously it perfectly connects with 2012's The Avengers. And also, it's a very simple and motivational story about Steve Rogers, who wants to help America and the Allies to fight the Nazis in World War II. Although he is physically incapable of doing so, but then obviously because he has a good heart, Abraham Erskine chooses him to give him the super soldier serum, and obviously that whole stuff which goes on with him becoming Captain America. It is pretty good. Like the movie does not really have a lot of action sequences in the first half of the film. Like the most of the first half is kind of the origin story, the setup of Steve Rogers and how he is becoming Captain America. But then once it does that thing, like the second half of the movie is very active with all the action sets and whatever is going on in the film. Obviously, we have a lot of connections to the greater MCU where we see a younger Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, and his relationship with Steve Rogers, and obviously Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull has been controversial throughout the years, but I think he did a great job with whatever he got. Like again, he brings the character into the live action universe. Like we have read about Red Skull in the comics and in some of the animated shows, but obviously seeing him in live action was pretty great. Obviously, this movie is also about friendship between Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. Obviously, Bucky is like in the start of the film, he's like this bulky guy who protects Steve, and But again, as the movie progresses, the roles kind of gets changed. Obviously, the movie also ends on an emotional note. It's not exactly a happy ending, which I like about these kind of films, like movies which do not just do a cliche happy ending kind of a thing. Obviously, this movie ends with a tragedy, but again, that kind of connects to the Avengers and Steve Rogers' absence for 70 years. And yeah, as I said, this is one of the best MCU films. It might not have made $1 billion at the box office, but I think it is one of the most memorable MCU films in its early years. So that's what I think about it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. May the force be with you always. Subscribe.